Alright everybody, welcome back to the channel. It's your bud Steve Sleepy C, and this week was pretty awesome, man. We got invited to Triumph's Icon Tour here in Cleveland, Ohio. They brought it to the House of Blues downtown. So me and my boys, Phil from Cleveland Moto and Johnny Mac from the podcast, we got together and we headed on down to the show. It was like 9 degrees, it was freezing, but it was totally worth it, man. Triumph put on a really cool little event. If I have to say anything, maybe next time turn the lights up a little bit. It was really hard to film. A lot of my cameras were not working as they should with that minimal amount of light, but did the best we could. Anyways, they brought out, basically they have a whole line called the Icons, and they're Triumph bikes that they've modified with like an old school Triumph logo and some little touches here and there and paint schemes, and a couple of them even have upgraded components. So we went and checked them all out. They had all their other bikes there too, but I didn't really focus on those because you probably know about those. So these are all the new 2025 limited edition and Icon bikes. So without beating around the bush, let's get into it. Alright, the first bike we found was the brand new Triumph Tiger Sport 800. This is Triumph's new bigger brother to the ever popular Tiger Sport 660. The Sport Adventure Tourer comes with a 798cc 3-cylinder engine, offering a balance of power and versatility for those long journeys or quick rips in the twisties. The bike delivers an impressive 113 horsepower at just under 11,000 RPMs and 70 foot-pounds of torque at about 8,000 RPMs. Bike features Showa upside-down forks in the front and Showa monoshock with an oil reservoir at the rear, and both of them are fully adjustable. Braking is managed by twin 310mm floating discs with 4 piston radial calipers at the front and a single 255mm disc with a Nissan single piston sliding caliper at the rear. With an LCD up front, you can manage and program many of these awesome features on the bike. This thing's available in black, yellow, blue, a two-tone black, and it's priced at $12,620. And I can tell you, after sitting on this bike, it's really comfortable. It reminds me a lot of my friend Dan's 660, which I really liked, but now you got that added bonus of 113 horsepower. Alright, the next bike we came across at the show was the brand new Triumph Bonneville T120 Elvis Presley Limited Edition. Yep, you heard me right. If you're over the age of 60 and still long for the 1950s, then this bike, paying homage to the king of rock and roll, might just be for you. This being a limited edition with only 925 units available worldwide, if this thing tickles your pickle, you better jump on it stat. The bike features a 1200cc liquid-cooled parallel twin engine, producing 79 horsepower at 6,550 RPMs and 77.4 foot-pounds of torque at 3,500 RPMs. The red paint scheme is inspired by the custom Bonneville created for the Elvis Presley Charitable Foundation, capturing the era's timeless style. The bike comes with aluminum rim 32-spoke wheels, an 18-inch front and a 17-inch rear. Suspension duties are handled by 41mm cartridge forks at the front and twin shocks with preload adjustment at the rear. Braking is managed by twin 310mm Brembo discs with a floating caliper at the front and a single Nissan disc with a floating caliper at the rear. If you're all about status, each motorcycle boasts an etched Elvis Presley signature on the handlebar clamp, along with the individual one-of edition number to admire on every single ride. A matching individually numbered certificate of authenticity featuring signatures from Triumph's CEO and a representative of Graceland, and it's presented with a special gold disc featuring a unique Elvis Presley and Triumph motorcycle sleeve artwork. This rockstar ride is priced at $15,495. So if you want one, go get it. Thank you. Thank you very much. Alright, I'm not gonna lie. I was a huge Evel Knievel fan. As a child of the 70s, I had every single Evel Knievel toy they made. And Triumph seems to know this, and they also know that the boys of the 70s grow up to be men with money that still want those Evel Knievel toys. Because here comes the Triumph Rocket 3R Evel Knievel Limited Edition. Celebrating the legendary Daredevil, this bike features the world's largest production 2,458cc motorcycle engine. That's not a joke, 2,458 cc's. This engine generates an astounding 166 foot-pounds of torque and 179 horsepower at 7,000 RPMs. Combined with the lightweight aluminum frame, high specification Showa suspension components, and their top-tier Brembo braking, this bike offers effortless response and handling that defies the size, ensuring a ride like no other. Now, if you want exclusivity, this bike is limited to just 250 units worldwide, and it's priced at $27,495. So if you're that guy that has that money, go grab it now. But my big question is, who's going to be the first to launch this sucker over some buses? Next we have the Triumph Speed Twin 900. This modern classic is equipped with a 900cc liquid-cooled parallel twin engine, delivering 64.1 horsepower at 7,500 RPM and 59 foot-pounds of torque at 3,800 RPM. It features a tubular steel twin cradle frame, 43mm upside-down Marcuse forks at the front, and twin Marcuse shocks with adjustable preload out back. Braking is handled by a single 320mm disc with a Triumph branded 4-piston radial caliper at the front and a single 255mm disc with a Nissan 2-piston floating caliper at the rear. Available in a tricolor black, a gunmetal gray, or my absolute favorite, the white, orange, and blue livery, this bike will set you back $9,995. Alright, next up we got a twofer, the Triumph Speed Twin 1200. We're going to get a standard version and then the higher spec RS version. Both editions come with the 1200cc liquid-cooled parallel twin engine, pumping out 103 horsepower at 7,700 RPM with 93 foot-pounds of torque at 4,250 RPM. The RS shares the same forks as the standard model with Marcuse 43mm upside-down forks at the front, but the RS gets a suspension upgrade with Olin twin shocks with adjustable preload on the back. On the RS, the braking is managed by twin 320mm disc with Brembo-style M4.3 radial calipers at the front and a single 220mm disc with a Nissan 2-piston floating caliper at the rear. The standard edition gets Triumph branded calipers up front and the same rear brake as the RS. The standard version is available in the color scheme you see here, also Hopper Red and Storm Gray, and that's going to run you $14,095. And the RS is available in a black and silver scheme or the beautiful orange and silver livery. If you want to make your friends jealous and snag the RS, that's going to set you back $15,995. Continuing with Triumph's commitment to go off-road racing, we were able to see the unveiling of the brand new Triumph TF450 Ricky Carmichael Edition motocross racer. Designed in collaboration with the GOAT himself, Ricky Carmichael. It's built to dominate the dirt tracks with its lightweight aluminum frame, KYB 48mm coil spring forks, and a KYB rear shock with adjustable preload, compression, and rebound dampening. Braking is handled by a single 260mm disc up front with a Brembo 2-piston caliper and a single Brembo 220mm disc at the rear. This off-road beast is priced at a reasonable $10,995, and I expect we're going to see a lot of it this next year. Alright, next up, and probably the most popular bike at the debut, the Triumph Bonneville Speedmaster Icon Edition. This beautiful bike boasts a 1200cc liquid-cooled parallel twin engine, delivering 76.9 horsepower at 6,100 RPMs and 78.2 foot-pounds of torque at 4,000 RPMs. The aluminum silver and sapphire black paint flows seamlessly across the tank and mudguards, enhanced by an aluminum tank strap, the gold Triumph script logo of old, and an exclusive Icons graphic package. Hand-painted pinstriping adds the final touch, making it perfect for long, relaxed rides where both comfort and style matter. The suspension features 47mm Showa cartridge forks at the front and a monoshock with linkage and preload adjustments at the rear. Braking is handled by twin 310mm disc with Brembo 2-piston sliding axial calipers at the front and a single disc with Nissan caliper at the rear. This classic cruiser with modern detailing is priced at $14,795. And another bike we actually got to see revealed was the Triumph Scrambler 1200X Icon Edition. If you're over 6 feet tall, love your right leg to be toasty warm, and love you some vintage Icon graphics, then the Triumph Scrambler 1200X Icon Edition is definitely the bike for you. This versatile machine is powered by a 1200cc liquid-cooled parallel twin engine, delivering 89 horsepower at 7,000 RPMs and 81.1 foot-pounds of torque at 4,250 RPMs. This bike once again features that aluminum silver and sapphire black paint scheme, adorned with brushed aluminum details and again hand-painted gold pinstriping. And it's really neat, you can see the brush strokes in the pinstriping, it's really well done. The tank probably displays the iconic gold 1907 Triumph script logo and the exclusive Icon logo, which adds a very distinctive touch compared to the other Scramblers. The bike is equipped with Marcuzzi non-adjustable upside-down forks at the front and Marcuzzi twin rear shocks with piggyback reservoirs at the rear. They offer preload adjustment and 170mm of wheel travel. Braking is handled by twin 310mm disc with Nissan 2-piston calipers at the front and a single 255mm disc with the Nissan 2-piston floating caliper at the rear. To get this Triumph Scrambler 1200X Icon Edition, you're going to have to come off of 14,395 bones. Alright, what'd you guys think? That was a pretty cool show. Thanks to Kurt from Cleveland Triumph for having us out, and Triumph for bringing that tour to Cleveland here, and the House of Blues for hosting it. Overall, the event was great. They had snacks, they had good music, and a lot of great motorcycles. What more could you ask for? The surprise for me had to be the Rocket 3. I've never been a Rocket 3 fan, but this new one is pretty darn cool. I don't know if I have a use for it, but I sure would like to ride one. Any of you guys out there that have a Rocket 3 and you jump some buses, send me the video, man. I want to see that. Alright. Well, we got a whole bunch of stuff coming up. We're heading to the AIM show in a week or two and the One show and possibly the Garage Brood show. So we're going to a whole bunch of bike shows. We're going to bring it all back to you guys as best we can. So if you can, throw a subscribe down there. Throw a like on the video so I know somebody's watching it. And remember, if it works, it ain't dumb.